We'll just have to pretend that we're at a sleepover and we're gossiping about Alfred Hitchcock, which is who directed the movie we're going to talk about today, which is To Catch a Thief. The film centers around John Robey, who is a retired cat burglar, which does not mean someone that steals cats. It means someone that climbs up into the upper stories of buildings and then steals things, like cats do. He doesn't do that anymore, though. He's retired. But someone is doing it in the same style as him, so he devises a plan to go and find the thief, to catch him, to catch a thief, and clear his name. So to do this, he starts hanging out with the most likely next victims, which is Jessie Landis and her Ice Queen daughter, Francie, who is played by Grace Kelly. These women fit neatly into the archetypal, dignified, clean-cut women of the 1950s. For the most part, we'll come back to that. Francie is beautiful, rich, and interested in Robbie, but Robbie is just focused on clearing his name. But Francie is super persistent. Guys, the concept of a woman pursuing a man in the 50s was a no-no. That's a no-no. Because what guy wants to be pursued? None of them. A smart girl lets the boy cue her. Men object to unsubtle women, and about the least subtle move ever made in romance is that of the girl taking initiative. But Francie is like the least subtle woman I've ever seen.
I'm a great believer in getting down to essentials.
Inviting me for breakfast, planning a swim, and now this drive.
The actors in this film fulfill the clean-cut archetype of class and beauty, but there's some seriously suggestive scenes in this film that surprisingly the Hollywood production code just let slide right by. The most famous scene is a late evening where Robbie and Francie are hanging out, and Francie makes this horrendous analogy about stealing and her diamond necklace, and that's like a symbol of her virginity. And then they start making out, and then the camera cuts to fireworks in the window, and I am not going to explain that. So at the end, they catch the thief, and I'm not going to spoil who it is, but it is a woman. Movies represent a sampling of public opinion, which means that while yes, this film is incredibly sexist, it also reveals some of the emerging culture of progressively bold women and sexual liberation in the 1950s.